It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to the full shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
I'm Hope Madden.
And this is It's Movie Time. And it's time for Harriet Tubman.
It is. It's high time.
Can you believe there's never been a full-length film on her that I know of?
No, it does seem crazy, doesn't it?
Wow. And we have a new star, or a star from Britain.
Yes.
Who has won multiple awards so far, playing her. It's
Cynthia Erivo.
Yes. And boy, what a terrific job. Now, but help me out, Hope. Is she portrayed more as a saint than a real leader? I mean, how? This is where I am. I'm just caught a little bit.
You know, it's an interesting question. One of the things I noticed about this film right off, I mean, long before it came out, just from the poster and the trailers, is it seemed like it was turning Harriet Tubman into a superhero.
Yes.
And I was kind of behind that idea. I'm like, all right, let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
But the truth is, if you look at what this very small individual female human being accomplished, it's hard to see that she could have been just a regular person. Like, it's really hard to accept that. So I think that the film does an interesting job of, you start off where she is, you know, just a sort of hopeful and struggling slave, but we don't spend a lot of time there. The film basically starts from the moment she escapes slavery, you know, and through this insane and amazing sort of last adventure that she has as part of the American military. And so I think one of the things that the film does, and that Erivo does really well, is to say, we're not that interested in trying to make you believe that this is just a flawed human. We need you to believe that this tiny human being could accomplish these things. And I think that is what they do. Because, part of their success there, I think, is in her performance, Erivo's performance. Because by the end, I thought, no, I believe this.
Yes, and thanks for that. And that does help me. I may change my grade when I go back on my written review, because I was waiting for you, the one person I knew that would help me through that. Aww. And I couldn't help but feel that she was being sanctified. But I think you're right. There's this little powerhouse who basically frees 70 people herself.
Right.
I mean, she starts by walking 100 miles from Maryland to Pennsylvania to free herself.
Right. Comes
right back.
Exactly.
Frees her family.
Then just keeps coming back.
Yeah. What makes you think that isn't heroic?
Yeah, it's true.
So that helped me through with that. I'll tell you, I really wanted very much to see her actions in the Civil War. I hear she was quite outstanding.
I know.
You can't have everything.
It's true.
You know, but I thought that some of the action that they did show was repetitive.
I can see that. I can. Here's what I liked the best about it. I mean, I don't think that it was a flawless film by any stretch, and I also feel like the ensemble performances, some of them suffered a bit, particularly by comparison. I mean, they were slight because it's a lot of people, it's a lot of story to get in.
Yes, good.
But some of the performances felt very one-dimensional, I thought. But what I really liked about the movie, I think a lot of times when you watch a film that is steeped in the history of American history of slavery, it's very hard to communicate the true misery, the suffering, the brutality. It is really hard to communicate that, and I think a lot of filmmakers sort of wallow and become, maybe the films get a bit lurid with a lot of whipping and a lot of, and maybe sort of depictions of rape and things like that. This movie, I think, managed to sidestep that without glossing over it entirely, because it was far more focused on the agency and urgency of ending slavery.
Yes.
And that, to me, made all the difference in the world. Because, again, I think it was in keeping with the depiction of her character, because it felt almost like an action movie.
Yeah, it did. That's a great point. You're reminding me of 12 Years a Slave.
Yes.
And wouldn't you think that's a little more Hollywoodized, or where you get the whippings and the suffering and all that?
Yes.
And I certainly don't want that to come back. That was difficult. But
handled beautifully.
Yes, right.
Handled beautifully.
Yeah.
And Casey Lemon's directed this movie, and she's done a couple of really good movies, Eve's Bayou, but she's also done a couple of not very good movies. And so I feel like this was, I think, a good compromise in keeping with her strengths, playing to her strengths.
Yeah. So, what's her name again?
Cynthia and
Yeah.
Erivo.
Is it N?
Mm-hmm.
Because look at, there's I took that right off of.
Oh my God, I've been missing Erivo. I have
Yeah.
been mispronouncing it this whole time. Cynthia
So-
Erivo. Oh my.
Yeah, okay. So I thought maybe I had it wrong.
No,
But
I'm
no.
sure you don't.
Oh, good. All right. So, well, let's just continue on.
Okay.
And I don't think anybody's going to know any difference, and we'll say it now.
Okay. Correctly.
So, Hope, what is it about this actress, Cynthia Erivo? What do you think is special about her?
You know, she's done 2 other films that I've seen. She was in Widows last year, and she was in Bad Time at the El Royale. And you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Thank you.
You wouldn't even know
I
it.
have no-
She's one of those just chameleonic performers. I mean, every time I see her, I don't know who she is. She completely, everything about her mannerisms, the way she looks, everything, she just disappears into a role, which is Tom Hardy-esque. I mean,
Oh,
it's
exactly.
Tilda Swinton-esque. I mean, it's one of the really impressive things about her performance. And again, as far as I know, this is only her 3rd major feature film, and what a performance! I mean, I can't wait to see what she does next.
Yes, because we know that she's gotten a Tony,
Mm-hmm.
and she also got a Grammy. Is that possible? Because it's called the EGRA, the 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it may be, so I don't know that, but I think she's a woman of many colors.
Yes.
And it also, you're reminding me that she's not a classically beautiful actress.
You know, it's a funny thing too, because she sometimes does come off as being really quite lovely, but I think she's one of those people who's very able to, to kind of transform and
Yes.
play up different things depending on what the part requires.
Because I'm reminded, I was impressed recently with Naomi Harris. I saw her in Black and Blue,
Black and Blue,
which I thought was not a bad film. And looking at her and saying, well, she is a classically beautiful
Yes, she
woman.
is.
And then looking, and I think the Erivo's success is that she doesn't have to trade on any of that. She doesn't trade on any of that. She just is the character she becomes.
Right.
And she can be either beautiful or not. But anyway, it's Harriet Tubman. You know what? I think this movie may help her get on the $20 bill.
Oh, I hope so.
Isn't that funny?
I'm all in.
They're gonna put Jackson out and they're gonna hit her. All right. Hope Madden.
Mm-hmm.
The film is Harriet.
Mm-hmm.
What grade do you award it?
B+.
Oh, very good. And I'm going to give it a B+. I'm going back and change the one on my